Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Matter of Opinion. I'm your boy Walls P.
It's your boy Ray the Dawn.
Today's topic is going to be a very controversial topic because we had two city workers that squared up in the middle of the street, both wielding knives. The end result was one of them wind up dying and the other one wind up getting slashed in the face. So me and my partner here, Ray the Dawn, we on opposite sides of the spectrum. So we're going to have a debate and see who make a more compelling argument with the facts that's presented on who was right and who was wrong. Was it justified? Was it not justified? So sit back, relax, and watch as we get into this debate. Hey guys, if you definitely like this video, definitely like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to support the channel, definitely become a member. And for that raw, uncut content, definitely check us out on Locals. It's in the description.
A DPW worker was fatally stabbed, and a water department worker is now charged with manslaughter and claiming self-defense. Tonight, we have the exclusive video of the fatal confrontation. CBS 2's Tony Aiello reports.
Jenny Brown was fatally stabbed, and surveillance video shows the moments leading up to the Friday afternoon violence. 43-year-old Carlton Naughton, a city water department worker, sees Brown approaching with a knife and pulls out one of his own. Brown, a DPW worker, got on a scooter, went around the corner, and collapsed. He later died at this local hospital. The prosecutor says Brown was, quote, in retreat. I showed the video to attorney Troy Smith, a former prosecutor.
The prosecution has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he wasn't acting in self-defense. That's a very heavy burden for the prosecution to overcome.
So my question to you is, do you think Mr. Naughton was well within his rights for stabbing Mr. Brown? And remind you, he was slashed in the face first.
Okay, all right, given he was slashed in the face, but the moment Mr. Brown decided to throw down the knife and try to run away from the fight, and the moment he pursued it went from self-defense to assault with a deadly weapon.
All right. So what you're telling me is somebody could come to me, slice me in my face, throw their knife down and run away, and at that point I can't do anything to them? That's what you're telling me?
I'm saying no. What I'm saying is say for example, right? Say for example, your oldest enemy walked up to you, gave you a cut on the arm or whatever with a knife, and then he started to run away and he threw the knife away, and you pursued him with a weapon, and then proceeded to stab him 7 times.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That is considered assault with a deadly weapon, because even though he started the fight, he still tried to run, and you pursued him. It'd have been different if he stayed. You get what I'm saying? If he stayed,
I get 100%.
If he stayed and he was still trying to attempt to cut you, at that point when you pulled your knife out and you try to swing on him, that's different, because now it's an even playing field fight, and it's considered self-defense because he came at you.
I gotta disagree, because as soon as he got stabbed in the knife and they're tussling whatever and he's chasing them, at that point you're in self-defense mode. So if you're in self-defense mode while you got slashed in the face and seeing red, I don't think a person can actually be in the right state of mind while they're in a confrontation to acknowledge that the person put the knife down or whatever. You get what I'm saying? Because at that point you're thinking, yo, this guy's trying to kill me. And even if he runs away or whatever the case may be, the point is you still was attacked. You get what I'm saying? Like you still was attacked in the heat of the moment.
Okay, I give you that. In the heat of the moment.
When he started running away, it was like a tussle, so to speak. And I guess he must have lost the power position, and that's when he started retreating. And it's like, nah, man, you gonna slash me in my face? It's gonna be some repercussions.
I see that, but 7 times to the chest, my dude. You don't think that's a little too much?
I don't know how much it was to the chest, but
I believe it was 7 times according to the news article.
Okay, 7 times might have been excessive, so to speak, but at the end of the day, man, like
that's more than self-defense right there. I'm trying to kill you.
You bought the fight to your man's doorstep. You slashed him in the face.
Yeah, but regardless, even still, the moment that he lost the knife, it became an uneven playing field. In a court of law, they're gonna look at it as, okay, sure, the defendant slashed you. You could have called the cops. You could have reported it. You get what I'm saying? Because he started to run away after he slashed him.
Well, see, I believe I could be wrong. I believe New York's law, because I believe this happened in New York, right?
Yeah, New York.
And I think New York is one of them states where you actually can, do self-defense. Like self-defense is perfectly legal
to an extent, but it's actually illegal in New York for anybody to carry knives that aren't gravity knives. By gravity,
no, that I know.
Gravity,
but
and I think both suspects had knives that were not considered gravity knives.
Mm-hmm.
So even regardless enough, even if he's not charged on this misdemeanor charge, your Mr. Norton will still get a penal penalty charge for possession of the knife.
See, I think it's going to be hard to prove that it wasn't self-defense, because, like I said, man, you're in the heat of a battle.
Yeah, you could say
you're not paying attention to if a guy drop a knife, so to speak, because you're in the middle of a scuffle.
Right.
So,
but even in the midst of the scuffle, though, 7 times, you gotta think about the number of stab wounds. That's the main point a prosecution is gonna bring. They're gonna say, if it's self-defense, why stab a man 7 times? 7 times is excessive. If you stabbed him 1 time and you let go and he limped away, cool. And then it's also the fact that both suspects did flee the scene of the fight. In that aspect. So regardless if Mr. Brown had lived, let's say he had lived in the hospital, they would have still faced charges.
Yeah, but I understand where you're coming from. But in the case of self-defense, in your mindset, this man is trying to kill me. So at this point, you're not thinking you're thinking, yo, I'm going to stab this man till he stopped fighting, because even though you say he stabbed him 7 times, they still were fighting after he got stabbed. The guy was still wrestling and tussling with him. So if you have a mindset where you're feared for your life and you're tussling with somebody and you stab him, they still trying to wrestle with you, you gonna stab him again like, yo, you trying to kill me. So
you clearly saw that Mr. Norton pursued him, grabbed him, and that's when the tussling started. And then he was stabbing him.
I get that 100%, but what I'm saying is, you mean to tell me a guy come up to you, slash you in your face, and then run, you're not going to pursue him?
Oh, if I know who it is, why? If I know who it is, because Mr. Norton definitely knew who it was.
Yeah.
I would have called the cops at that point. I wouldn't pursue him because I know there's a chance if I pursue him, I can either lose my life or I can end up going to jail for killing this person accidentally.
But who's to say you're not in a fit of rage and you're not thinking about this guy could take my life?
given the fit of rage, okay, great. But if you look at what was shown, Mr. Norton pursued him, grabbed him, ensured that he stabbed him a few times, and then let him go.
I understand that 100%.
That's not self-defense.
What I'm saying, hey, you can say it's not self-defense, but you come to me, you stab me in my face. To me, it's self-defense, my actions that I did, because you already took the initial step of causing me bodily harm, especially in a state where self-defense or defending yourself is allowed. Granted, I understand your man ran, whatever the case may be,
sure did.
But who's to say that you're not running just to get yourself in a better position, square off and come at me again? Because clearly when we squared up, you was able to slash me in my face. So who's to say I let you square up, grab your footing, you're going to come up to me and slash me in my face again?
So my question is, instead of pursuing, why not run away? Why not run away? Because the direction Mr. Norton was walking from was his truck that was parked right there. Why not run to your truck? Why pursue? If he felt so threatened, like he was claiming, he could have ran to his truck, got in his truck, closed the door, told his partner to drive, called the cops, I'm just saying.
Not unless he felt that he could actually defend himself, even though this person attacked him.
Yeah, but in his statement, he's saying he was fearing for his life, and that caused him to defend himself.
No, I'm not saying he said he's fearing for his life, but what I'm saying is he can say he was fearing for his life. You get what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's real. We all know that would probably be a reach, but my thing is in the court of law, as it comes down, because the fact that your man stabbed him in the face, and a tussle was going on and everything like that. Granted, he put down the knife, but I guess my thing is he attacked him. It's kind of like if assailant come to a woman, like see a woman walking down the street or whatever. He runs away. The girl chase him. He winds up dropping her purse or whatever and stop like, yeah, I dropped the purse. You can have your belongings, whatever. You don't think that woman is justified to cold cock your man, and if he happened to fall, hit his head, and whatever, you don't feel like you think she was in the wrong for what she did?
Then it becomes a case of her committing an assault. And there's actually been a case, I just can't remember at the top of my head, where a situation like that has happened, where somebody robbed somebody, and they caught up to the person, and the person let them have their stuff back. And then the person who chased the robber began to beat the robber up, and that person got charged with assault.
What was it? What state was it? Now, let me ask you this:
I think it was New York too.
Did the robber attack the person, like cause any violence or bodily harm to the person?
I think he pushed the guy. He pushed the guy and grabbed his bag, if I remember correctly.
But would you put that on equal footing with somebody slashing you in the face?
See, that's he didn't die, so you know what I'm saying. It's not.
I hear you.
You know what I'm saying. Cuts heal. I can't really say that. I can't really say that's not warranting a reaction, but not the type of reaction that was given.
All right, so let me ask you. If that was you in that case, the dude slashed you in your face, y'all in a tussle or whatever, and remind you, this was a dude that basically was assaulting your little sister and the whole nine. It's a history behind it. He comes up to you, slash you in your face, y'all squaring up. He runs away. You just gotta let him run away, and that's it?
No, I don't think I can personally let him run away. I might throw something at him, but I'm not gonna pursue him. If he gets away,
the only thing in your hand is a knife. What you throwing at him?
I take off my shoe and throw it.
So you have a knife in your hand. You just got slashed in the face. You're gonna disregard throwing the knife and throw your shoe at him. That's what your next action is gonna be.
You know why I'm gonna disregard throwing the knife? Because I know myself, and I know I'm an excellent knife thrower. So I know I will definitely catch him with the knife. So at least with the shoe, I can make sure he lives a bit.
See, my instincts would tell me call the cops, right?
Yeah,
in a heat of a moment like that, I'm sorry, I probably would react away and chase the person down. And in my mind, I'm defending myself. That's the way I would absolutely look at it. Because I'm like, yo, you really stabbed me in my face. Number one, you weren't even supposed to be in my vicinity or my area where I was at work. So that means that you followed me. You were stalking me, basically, while I'm at my job. Who says that I was going to be at that corner store?
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
But we don't know the whole story that led up to that.
No, we don't.
So until we get the facts to know what caused Mr. Brown to pursue such an action, we can't really speak on, saying that he stalked him.
He was stalking him or whatever.
Yeah, we can't really speak on that.
I'm going based on what the article was saying.
Yeah, I understand that, but until you get both spectrums of the story, you can't really say.
Well, here's the thing: if more evidence come out and it's more clearer as to everything that happened, then of course my thought process will change accordingly. But based off like what's
based
being
off what
said.
it looks like,
Yeah.
it does look like Mr. Brown did go after Mr. Norton, but at the same time, regardless enough, if even though he initiated everything, it's the response that you gave him that led to his death.
No, I get it, because usually they say, yo, if somebody, usually the person who's the antagonist and the person react, usually it's the person that react wind up getting in trouble.
Right. Now, things would have been different if Mr. Brown made it to the hospital and lived.
Mm-hmm.
Then it would have been a different case, because it would have been it could have Mr. Norton could have said it was self-defense in that aspect. If he had lived, what sent it over the edges that he died. You get what I'm saying?
I get that part that he died, but
because he died because of Mr. Norton's pursuit, Mr. Norton's actions of pursuit, it makes it a possible assault case.
No, I get that. But I guess my thing is, yes, it was a pursuit, but I'm looking at it as your state of mind at the time. Because that, I could be wrong, but for me, I feel like if I was a jury, if I was in the jury or a juror, I'm jacking that word up. If I was a juror, I would have the compassion of thinking, yo, this guy probably wasn't in the right state of mind and just basically saw red because he literally was slashed in the face. And when you're like chasing him down, whatever, as far as a retaliation, and that's the thing, when he chased them down to retaliate, it's not to say he had the thought process of I'm gonna kill him. It could have just been like, yo, you cut me, I'm gonna cut you back, and it wind up being a tussle, and unfortunately, the man wind up killing him, so to speak. So I'll say this. I can see where he's probably charged for not getting away with the self-defense, but I wouldn't think that it was he had the. I wouldn't say he had
the intent of murder,
of killing.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's the intent of murder, because it is in the heat of moment and adrenaline and stuff. I would say it's probably self-defense that elevated way a little bit further than you should have.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think he should definitely get maybe a misdemeanor charge.
Nah, I don't think it's gonna be. He either gotta beat the case or he's facing a felony.
Yeah.
That's what I honestly think.
Honestly, I think either he get a misdemeanor charge or he faces the charge for having the weapon.
Possibly,
because even if he, let's say he gets the self-defense, and it's solid or whatever, and he wins it, right? They can still charge him for having that knife, regardless if he worked for the city water company or whatever. He was still off. He was still off work according to the statement given. He had already finished his shift, which means he no longer had approval to have that type of item on him per se.
Well, he was still on the clock though. It was until he's off the shift when he go return the truck, because his route was over, but he still was technically on the clock. He just stopped to get something to drink. So that's like taking a 15-minute break or whatever.
Yeah, that's I guess you could say that, but at the same time,
and that's another good point that you made too. Like, we don't even know if his job require him to have
exactly.
That
that's another thing too. We don't know. I mean, but if he works for the city waterworks, 9 times out of 10 he'll have to have something sharp to cut certain things.
But I guess there's something we're gonna see as the story unfolds.
Yeah, man.
My thing is, why did you have to bring a knife into the situation? Y'all could have just knuckled up.
Man. Like, y'all would have both been living right now. No problem. I mean, you'd have had probably pay a city fine for fighting in the middle of the city, but other than that,
And my thing is, there must have been some serious hate for you to square up with a knife.
You know what I feel? I'm gonna give my real thoughts on that matter. Mm-hmm. I feel like by Mr. Norton and his family putting a lot of pressure on Mr. Brown with the cops and everything, and forcing him to get an ankle bracelet, he probably felt some type of way about that.
Yeah.
So he was like, I'm going to catch him slipping. You get what I'm saying? You know that mentality where like, yo, they really just mess with my life. I'm going to catch them slipping.
But my man was already on parole too, so.
Yeah, he was on parole, but they added that ankle bracelet, according to the article, after Miss Norton's sister or whatever.
No, I know that. I'm saying that's what probably made his anger even worse.
Yeah,
more.
That ankle bracelet.
You know what I'm saying? He was already on parole or whatever.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like the reports say, he was getting into some type of, I don't know what it is, but something with, Norton's little sister or whatever. So it's a lot of moving parts there. As more evidence come out, we'll know what happened. But
you know what, man? My condolences to Mr. Brown's little kid, man, because that growing up without a dad, man, that's tough.
Yeah, definitely. And it all could have been avoided.
Yeah.
All could have been avoided, man. So it's like, yo, man, we already the minority in America, and we just constantly killing each other off, brother.
Young fellas out there, take note. Yeah. No vagina's worth this.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, if you're going to settle it, man, do it the old school way.
Yeah, tell them to meet you in the boxing ring.
Keep it
moving. Go 3 rounds.
And that's how it was growing up. Yo, you got a beef, you knuckle up, whatever, and you lose, I bet. If we fight again, maybe I'll catch you the next time. And that's it.
Yeah.
And the crazy part about it is, especially for men, women is different. For men, the people you have beef with that you wind up fighting, y'all wind up being the best of friends later down the line.
Yeah, because you'd be like, yo, why was we even fighting for, bro?
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, that's going to do it for this episode, man. Unfortunately, somebody lost their life in this altercation, which could have been avoided. And as the more news and as more information come out, we'll update everybody. But we would love to hear your thoughts in the comment. Who do you think had a better argument, or whose side do you take? Do you think Mr. Norton was justified, or do you think he was in the wrong? Let us know. Do you pick Ray the Don? Do you pick Walls P? We'd love to hear what you guys think.
Of course, and don't feel scared to share any of your opinions. That's what this comment section is for.
Exactly, because like we say,
if you disagree with both of us, tell us why.
Exactly. And with this platform, we embrace people speaking their mind. You know how many comments I got, people trashing me and talking all types of craziness about me. But hey, let it ride. I don't delete no comments. If a comment is deleted,
it's not us. It's YouTube.
Yes,
okay? It's YouTube. We just want to put that disclaimer out there. It's YouTube's fault.
Exactly. Yep. So that's going to do it for this episode. We'll catch you guys on the next one. I'm Walls P.
I'm Ray the Dawn. Peace.
Peace.
It's a matter of opinion.